Speaking of challenges and opportunities, did you realize that 10 years worth of change has been jammed into about 6 months? We used to talk about things like sit tests, site visits, see it with my own eyes. Huh, how quaint. Now we click and buy and hope for a good return policy. Here to share some of the ways we're behaving in this new world is Domino Magazine's general manager, Tracy Cho, and the head of brand and creative studio at Domino, Megan West. Tracy and Megan will be joining us from the Domino HQ a few blocks away for a presentation in partnership with Verizon.
Thank you, Dennis. Hi, everyone. Megan and I are so excited to be part of the second annual Future of Home Conference. Last year, we talked about the future of media and how the industry was evolving to meet our audience on new platforms. A lot has changed since then, and especially in the last 5 months due to COVID-19. So this year, Domino decided to engage our proprietary homebodies community of 6,000 strong design and style enthusiasts to launch a thought leadership study in partnership with Verizon dedicated to understanding how our members, your consumers and clients, are feeling about the place we call home. The full report will be published on domino.com in a few weeks, but for today, we're going to really focus on the impact and the changes that we're feeling inside our homes today versus back in March when shelter in place first took effect. For instance, I merged a two-city household into one, and in the beginning, we were really just focused on safety and safety from the outside world. How do we gather all the essentials into our home for what felt like a temporary time? You know, I remember telling everybody in the office, see you in a few weeks, and, definitely expecting to, go to that wedding on Memorial Day weekend. All of that has changed, and now our priorities are really about adapting our homes to this new lifestyle, which really we're looking into at least for the next foreseeable future, the next year, if not longer.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's safe to say at the beginning of 2020, we viewed our homes as a place where we escaped to when the day was coming to a close. And over the past few months, our homes have really evolved into so much more than that. Personally, my apartment's evolved into a yoga studio, a doggy daycare center, a co-working space, and so much more. We're learning how to live within the confines of our four walls and really making our homes an indefinite extension of ourselves. Before we get into all the findings, we wanted to give you a quick overview on how we got there and our research methodology. To anchor our study, we used Maslow's hierarchy of needs to symbolize our current and complex relationship with where we live and what we know as home. We took an intimate look, room by room, at what's changed and how each space in our home has made us feel, and we're excited to share some of those findings with you today. In the beginning, especially in larger cities, the biggest question people were facing was, should they stay or should they go from their primary residence? With so much uncertainty, people were really focused on their basic needs for survival and safety, as Tracy mentioned. So it's no surprise that the biggest decision on people's minds was if they should stay or flee. But nearly 80% stayed in their primary residence since the start of COVID, which is really interesting, and it really shows that people have had a lot of time to really think about what their homes mean to them and how valuable they are. In the beginning, people also responded with saying that they were feeling cramped and anxious and, feeling anxiety and wanting to get out of the homes. But what was so interesting in this research was to see how that sentiment really shifted. So it moved towards a sense of gratitude and appreciation, and having extra time to spend at home started to feel really valuable. Overall, we found people were looking for spaces that were as comfortable as they were welcoming and inviting. And a common theme we saw was a lot of people interested in updating their spaces. So having a larger bedroom or more privacy, a livable kitchen, functional kitchen, natural light, and that highly coveted outdoor space. And in lieu of those wants and desires, Nearly 30% of our respondents anticipate moving within the next 12 months.
And for those who are staying put, what's interesting is how much people are willing to spend to make their homes into their dream spaces. So when looking at spending habits, 22% of our respondents said they'd initially cut back significantly on their spending, but now they're focused on long-term investments in their home. Around 60% of our respondents have already taken on some sort of home renovation project in the last 3 months. The reasons for renovations evolved from a basic need, an immediate need, to then getting onto a project that has been on their list. And now it's really about making intentional changes to your home that bring value or purpose or joy. 70% of respondents have seen something online and made a micro enhancement.
When we took a closer look at these specific projects, as expected, comfort stood out as being a huge consideration when figuring out how to enhance a space. Nearly 90% of respondents mentioned to adding a throw or blanket or buying new bedding in the past 3 months to really enhance that sense of comfort in their bedrooms. Enhanced ambiance through lighting changes and soothing textures also ranked really high on the list with respondents. Over the past 3 months, we found that people were sprucing up their space with greenery by adding planters into their homes. We found a lot of these decisions were really impacted by the season. As time went on, we saw more interest in longer-term modifications. So finally getting around to refinishing that furniture in your basement, or tiling a backsplash, wallpapering a nook to really add personalization into your homes, creating new storage and shelving units, making space, for actually being able to remote teach and learn and work. And then also more labor-intensive outdoor modifications, like building a swimming pool or installing an outdoor fireplace that you might not have had time for in the past. So now that people are searching for longer-term changes and modifications, we're finding functionality is really ranking high into what people are interested in doing. In fact, nearly 25% of our respondents say that functionality is the biggest motivator when undertaking a new DIY project. At Domino this winter, we're really betting on renovation projects to be focused on communal living and shared spaces. So the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, these places that you congregate with loved ones, and really making them feel more functional and enhanced. Speaking of functionality, Tracy, let's talk about something that's on everyone's mind, working from home.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest changes inside homes, impacting 1 in 2 of our respondents. In March, again, the home felt like a temporary work environment. People were enhancing their, digital Zoom backgrounds with inspiration boards or adding positive affirmations on Post-it notes. I know I did. We had one respondent who mimicked their office snacks situation with a little mini pantry next to their side desk. So those were kind of the immediate changes that people made. Now they're really focused on researching functional, multifunctional furniture, researching standing desks, figuring out room dividers, and furniture that can be delivered immediately. Nearly 3 in 4 respondents associated keeping everything clean and organized as very closely tied to their sense of personal fulfillment. And it only makes sense that people are very focused on their good natural light, as well as adding on personal touches of their design and style, as we've probably seen inside each other's home more often than we had thought. And of course, nearly 40% of our respondents said that a fast and reliable network has made their work from home reality much more manageable.
Yeah, and we saw changes within our own audience at Domino as well. So in the beginning and early months of COVID, March, April, May, we saw searches go up for DIY masks and how to make a latte at home. So really quick enhancements. And now we've seen a shift more towards creative ideas, really changing your space and the energy of it. So creating real backgrounds, finally painting that wall in your Zoom background or hanging art, picking out color combinations for your bedroom or living room that spark joy, and these longer term modifications that increase the value of your home, which really plays into Maslow's hierarchy of needs of self-fulfillment through creative activities.
The biggest takeaway from our study is how resilient the power of design is to our sense of fulfillment at home. The pandemic has only strengthened our members' desires to create an environment that reflects their lives. And to that end, we at Domino are focused on bringing more renovation inspiration, innovative design solutions, and service to our community. So follow along on our new renovation Instagram handle, Reno Notebook, or sign up for our monthly newsletter. And don't forget to subscribe for our winter renovation issue. And as mentioned, we'll publish the full study on domino.com in a few weeks, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.